Where's your car at?
Like right there.
Cool.
Thank
Awesome.
you. You can't do that.
I kissed her nose. I shouldn't have done it. It's over.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grimm. Today we have another installment in the crazy life of Ed from 90 Day Fiancé. If you haven't watched the first two parts, make sure you go back and watch those first. But who am I kidding? You guys, of course, have seen the first two parts because you've been absolutely destroying the likes on those videos and the views. Thank you so much for all the support. I don't know why, but I was kind of nervous to bring back these Ed videos. I didn't want you guys to think I was trying to just revive a dead meme, but I genuinely am interested in this season, and it's so funny to watch him pretty much fail endlessly. So in today's episode, he's really still worried about this whole friend zone thing with Liz, the waitress, that he's been trying to get into a serious relationship with. So we're gonna watch him have a third date, and his bright idea is, hey, I'm gonna have her meet my mom, which is super serious and way too fast, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Let's just get into it and have Ed explain everything and sit back and enjoy the cringe. This one is gonna be very good and honestly gets very intense, so stay tuned.
Last night, Liz and I had a lot of fun at goat yoga.
You know, Ed just has to kick back in the hot tub here because he has got to be feeling it after his first physical exercise session that he's had in I don't know how many years, doing that goat yoga yesterday. And that's not an easy thing to go into and just jump in. He kind of went into the deep end there. So it's good he's getting some relaxation for the third date tonight, which is actually going to be right here in front of him in this backyard. And boy, are things cringy. Anyways, let's keep watching Ed soak up in the hot tub because I know that's what we all want to see right now.
I'm afraid I might end up in the friend zone. You know, the last girl I had, I was in the friend zone for 13 years.
Whoa, Ed. Wait. This guy and his friend zone talk. He says that the last girl that he was stuck in the friend zone with was for over 13 years. Bro, if you're stuck in the friend zone for over a decade, you just got to hang it up and say, hey, either I want this person as a friend or they're never going to want me. So I have to just, you know, take the L and move on. But no, he was stringing along for 13 years, hoping maybe one day she'll fall for me. Doesn't work that way, Ed. If there's no instant spark, it's one of those things where unless it's pretty easy off rip, that's a bad sign and you should not continue. And it's much like this relationship. Like, he's facing so much backlash trying to just get into her personal life and flirt with her. She's so clearly not into it, yet he keeps pressing on, and you're gonna see more of that today, pretty much to the highest extent. Ed is just blind to all of it.
And I had a crush on her, and I would ask her out to what I thought was a date, but it wasn't. It was just she was hungry.
I don't know why that's so funny. I know this is really sad or supposed to be sad, but you guys know our history with Ed. He hasn't always made the best choices. With that being said, though, I do still hope this guy finds happiness, but really he does need to readjust who he's looking at because these 20-year-olds, it's just not gonna work. Maybe he'll learn his lesson if this one doesn't work out, but I really don't think that will ever happen. Like, we might have 30 seasons of Ed just trying to date various 20-year-olds and striking out. That would be so entertaining. TLC, get on it.
For 13 years, I never had the balls to tell her how I felt. When I finally did, you know, she said, no, I don't see you that way. And she ended up moving to San Francisco and got married a month later, which was kind of odd.
Oh, that is brutal. Not only did he get declined after waiting 13 years to tell her that he's interested in her, which I'm sure she got some hints and was kind of just stringing him along for friendship at that point. But right after that, she just up and moves and gets married the next month. So clearly she was, you know, looking for something, but it just wasn't Ed.
I'm not gonna make the same mistake I made again. And I missed all the signs, like all the red flags.
Wait, but you literally have been doing that, Ed. It's been a whole season of this show so far of you trying to get with Liz, and you are literally conveniently walking around every major red flag as if it doesn't exist simply because you want to get with her. So you're ignoring all the signs, but you're just leading yourself to heartbreak once again, my guy.
I need a woman's, you know, angle, a woman's opinion. So I invited Liz over for dinner to meet my mom.
So again, as I said in the intro, Ed has this genius idea and says, hey, this relationship isn't quite moving at the speed I want it to be. You know, we still have not kissed once or really been that romantic. We've just been having really awkward talks on these awkward dates. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fast forward in the relationship here into the meeting parents phase, which is so intense and such a scary thing to do on a third date. But in Ed's world, since he hasn't been serious in the dating world besides Rose for about 28 years, he has no other idea of how to do things, but this is way too fast. I'm sure if she was really into him and things were going, you know, super smooth, then this would maybe be appropriate on a third date. But with the way things have been going, this is a crucial misstep right here.
Your mom's your best judge of character when it comes to girlfriends, I think most of the time. So my mom's opinion matters. And of course, if Liz doesn't like my mom, she's out.
Who's out, Ed? Your mom or Liz? Why do I feel like if his mom didn't like her, he'd be like, okay, well, you could find somewhere new to live because me and Liz are going to be together forever. Rose was a mistake, but this one is definitely going to work out. I'm meant to be with this 28-year-old, even though I'm 55.
Oh, no, man, we don't want any. Oh, my God, how you doing? Hey, what smells like goat poop?
Hi, Teddy.
Watching him try to interact with women, or really anyone in general, is so painful, and I'm just trying to think of the thought process here. He really just says whatever comes to his mind within the blink of an instant, and it doesn't always work. His first introduction to her on this date is, hey, oh, you look great. Hey, what smells like goat poop? No, I'm kidding, but really, you do smell terrible. What is that?
I'm meeting Ed's mom for date 3. It is very fast moving, but I know that he's told me that he hasn't really dated the last 28 years.
So, I mean, you can even hear it from the source here. Liz herself says that's pretty fast moving, and she's already super hesitant to be talking to him because she has been in a serious relationship, I think only 2 months before this, and she wasn't really looking for someone until this TV crew showed up with Ed one day to a restaurant, and he was like, hey, I think you're really cool and we can get to know each other, and we should go on a date. And again, when there's TV cameras there and just all this stuff going on, of course you're gonna probably give it a chance, but I don't know. This whole thing is just too intense, and I think at this point she's realizing she's getting in over her head. And another thing I wanted to touch on that I didn't in the past 2 episodes that some commenters pointed out, and I really just truly forgot to talk about this, but Ed made a crucial mistake here that most people make, generally older dudes, by thinking that their waitress or person that's helping them in like the service industry is flirting with them, when in reality it's just their job to be nice. And they get a better tip if they're nice, and it's just easier to do if there's a good rapport between you and the customer, but that does not mean that they're flirting with you. And 10 times out of 10, I would say, it's not gonna work if you're trying to pick up people that are your waitress or server. But that kind of went over Ed's head as well. Again, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he hasn't been in the dating world for almost 3 decades, you know, pretty much since she's been born. So weird to think about, but yeah, let's just keep going.
So I am trying to impress you. So, trying to talk to you because you're so beautiful and cooking? No. I'm gonna have you go cop a squat with my mom. You can talk about whatever you want.
So first of all, the laugh after he says, I'm trying to impress you, is not a good sign. She just is not taking this seriously at all at this point. But the other thing, he really throws her into the sharks here. Not only is he having this awkward third date with his mother, he's saying, hey, while I prepare this dinner, which could take, I don't know, 15 to 30 minutes, why don't you just have a one-on-one conversation with my mom without me even there to break the awkwardness? That sounds fun, right? Not like interrogational at all or stressful. Go ahead, do it. And his excuse is, I can't focus on cooking while looking at a beautiful woman like you, but truly I think he has someone else from the crew cooking this up because maybe Ed just doesn't really know how to cook that well and he's embarrassed.
I'm just a little afraid because I see that Ed's so interested in her. I'm hoping he doesn't get hurt again. I really prayed last night.
And his mom is just in this awkward position of knowing from past life experiences and just being a woman herself that this lady is probably not going to be interested in her son. He's probably on the path for further heartbreak, which he is just getting over the devastating loss of his love with Rose, which was only a year ago now at this point. So she's going to do her best to have a conversation with this woman, but I'm going to show you some tidbits here of their conversation. It's pretty instantly that she can tell that this is just not going to work out, and she already had her doubts, but they really are reinforced here.
I'm super excited about the menu that I've created. We're looking at beets, avocado, salad. I can't screw that up.
Yeah, I would hope you don't screw that up, Ed. I mean, it's literally 3 ingredients you just listed, and it sounds like it's a simple salad where you're cutting up vegetables, putting them in a bowl, and adding some dressing. So I really am praying that you're not gonna mess this up, Ed, but knowing you, you're somehow gonna find a way.
It is really nice to be able to meet you. I mean, I don't know where him and I will go from here because there's an age difference.
Much to be expected, there's about 70% of this conversation is awkward silence between Liz and his mom out here. He really did not do them any justice by just plopping them together, but the first thing that Liz talks about is how she has doubts on the relationship, especially because of their age difference, which is totally justifiable. But now the mom is instantly knowing, okay, my son is destined to have his heart broken tonight. This is not going to work out. This is so sad. Because of course, she's his mother. She wants to see him happy, but she knew from the get-go this was not going to work, much like the Rose situation.
So do you have any interesting stories about Ed growing up?
He used to spin on his head like a little top.
Yeah, they would get everybody in the room. Ed, come and spin on your head. I would spin on. My dad called me blockhead.
Oh my gosh, this is like the most messed up joke I've ever made on this channel, but low key, is that how it happened? The whole no neck thing? No, I'm just kidding. He was born with it, of course. That is kind of crossing the line there, but it's funny to think of him literally just spinning like a top on his head. I know he probably can't do that now with his size, but it'd be very entertaining to see him try.
When were you born?
92.
92.
Okay, I gotta go.
92.
Are you kidding me? I graduated 6 years before you were born.
Oh, and the mom is even more crushed here when she brings up their age difference again by saying, literally, you graduated high school half a decade before I was born. That is just telling of how huge their age gap difference is. And once again, Ed says he has not been really in the dating scene for almost 30 years, which is over the length of time that this lady has been alive. So that just further complicates things, especially when Ed is the way he is. I just don't foresee this going down a good road.
Tonight, I'm getting a few signs from Liz that she's into me, she's bonding with my mom.
And you know, there's some depth to the cringe here, which is the mom is sitting here having that prior conversation knowledge of knowing that this girl is not that interested, but the entire time Ed is thinking this is going really well and even talks to the camera saying, man, we are hitting it off. She loves my mom. I'm pretty sure she loves me. You know, it's working out so well, but the mom knows deep down how things are going to go for the rest of the night.
You gonna kiss Liz tonight?
You know, the plan is to kiss her. I mean, come on. This is date number 3. I mean, I might as well just go for it. And maybe I can get Liz in the hot tub by the end of tonight.
Oh, Ed, you could not be further from the truth here, man. You're hoping that the trajectory of this date is going to end you up in the hot tub with her, and I see that little cheeky lip bite. I don't want to ever see it again, by the way. But that's really not how this is going to go. I can tell you that without even watching the end of this episode yet. I know that this is not going to go that well.
So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the kiss. I haven't kissed a girl since Rose. I don't know. I'm just kind of anxious. But I like tongue. I'm just kidding.
We all know you're not freaking kidding, Ed. Come on, man. You can't pull your old "I'm just kidding" gag there. This man's wilding right now, and he is just really not even understanding the full gravity of the situation. He thinks he's got it in the bag and they're probably gonna get married next month. Meanwhile, Liz is thinking, how do I end this? I mean, they're literally filming a show about our relationship forming and I don't want it to form.
I want you to know that I care about you. Just, you know, I do. I don't want to rush. I'm not in a hurry. I'm just here.
Dude, you're literally in the biggest hurry. She just met your mom and this was your third kind of pseudo date. I don't even know if you can call it a date. You literally had her come over and meet your mom after seeing her twice. That is the definition of rushing and trying to get into it too fast.
I'm just most worried about is, I love our connection, but I just don't know what I'm looking for because I wasn't looking, so.
And I don't know, a normal person would hear this and pretty much understand what she's saying. She's being pretty open and honest with him right now that she doesn't know what she's looking for. She's pretty sure it's not gonna be him, and she doesn't want to jump into anything, especially at the pace that they're going, because she just got out of a serious relationship. She works a lot and she's trying to take care of her freaking kid. That's way more important than any of this TV crap. So you'd think, okay, that's kind of heartbreaking for Ed, but it's open and shut. He can let her go and it's just gonna be a normal rest of the night. But you guys are gonna be surprised by the ending of this date, okay? It's terrible.
You don't mind if I stare at you? Where's your card at?
Like right there.
Cool.
Thank
Awesome.
you. You can't do that.
Why not?
What? Oh, I'm having a seizure. I am going to have a freaking seizure. I should not have made this video while I'm home alone. I need someone right now. I'm gonna die from a cringe overload. Ed, what do you mean why not? She just told you she's probably not interested and was very flat out honest about how she thinks this relationship's going. And your idea is, oh, I'm still gonna go for the kiss. I hope she likes tongue. I know you took an L on the hot tub idea, but you need to put the freaking kiss idea on the back burner as well. But I guess it's too late. You made this awkward nose kiss, and I just feel terrible for Liz right now. That's an awful way to end the date and totally not invited or expected from her, Ed. You gotta read the room.
Too soon?
That kind of pushed me back. I didn't know you were going in for that.
I didn't either.
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
All right.
Bye.
That was weird.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Be careful.
Yeah, you can say that twice, Ed. That was pretty freaking weird. Like, my body temperature has gone up about 5 degrees. I feel like I'm getting a fever from how awkward this is to sit through. Again, I think they really need to pay these TLC cameramen accordingly because they are having to sit through some painful moments. I'm at least getting to see this through the screen as well as you guys, but they have to be there physically and endure this. So that's pretty uncomfortable. I feel bad for them, but I hope they're getting a good check.
She doesn't want a romantic relationship. I think she sees me as a friend. And you know what's so funny is like my brother, he told me one time, look, when you meet the one, it's gonna be easy.
So why don't you follow that advice, Ed? I even said that in the beginning, dude. It's supposed to be easy if you're falling in love. It's supposed to just kind of fall together. And when it doesn't, that's a good sign that you're fighting for something that's probably never going to happen. But nevertheless, he's here sitting, just having a final drink, really reminiscing and kind of getting in his feelings after this awkward interaction to end the date. And the producers are out interviewing Liz still in the front yard because she's at this point crying at how awkward that was and how bad she feels for him having the wrong idea and her just not being down for it. Overall, it's a really messy, sad situation.
Maybe I'm meant to be alone. Like maybe I'm better off alone. I just want it to be easy.
Hey, Ed, I got a really, really good shortcut for love for you, bro. Change your age demographic, dang it. You are looking for 20-year-olds when you're in your 50s, and you're not even in the top percentile of handsome 50-year-old men. Be realistic with who you're looking for, my guy. You gotta at least bump it up to like late 30s at the minimum. 40s would be good, 50s would be perfect. But I know you said you're not attracted to women of your age, and I guess that's just a hurdle you're gonna have to get over if you wanna find some serious love, because it's not gonna happen with someone who could be younger than your child.
I kissed her nose. I kissed her nose.
This show is an absolute freaking goldmine. You could not change my mind on that. He's sitting here reminiscing like all of us would after an awkward interaction like that, but he's just replaying it over and over like, I kissed her nose. I kissed her nose. Why am I feeling bad for Ed right now? He really brought this on himself. But you know, the editing and everything, the soft music, it really is making me feel bad for him when I absolutely shouldn't. He put himself in this position, and he needs to learn from his past mistakes. You'd think he would know better by the time he's in his mid-50s. So after some reflection outside with her interview with the producers, Liz makes the decision to go back in and kind of clear things up with Ed, because neither of them want to have the situation left like this, especially when they're being filmed, and it's good to have some resolution. So let's fast forward to that final conversation before we wrap up this episode, which is without a doubt going to be the longest video I have ever made. I'm looking at the timing of this recording, and it's an abysmal number. I'm gonna have to do a lot of freaking editing, but it's worth it because this show is just so good, and I had to show every little detail of this insane ride. So I hope you guys freaking appreciate it, all right?
Like, why did I do that? Like, why do I rush?
I can't imagine you not in my life. It doesn't matter if it's friends. It doesn't matter if it's more than that. I care a lot about you.
It's just the word friend scares me.
Oh, she dropped the F word on Ed. That's where his heartbreak is just amplified here, because not only is he getting curved, he's getting curved to be stuck in the friend zone, which you guys have heard my sentiment on that in the past. I don't believe it actually exists. I think that's just meant for people who are trying to go above and beyond for people that just honestly are not going to be interested in them. They're not realistic with their standards and everything, and they're just awkward dudes, and they consider this friend zone thing to just be the thing holding them back. But it's truly their inability to read the social situation and the cues that are given to them by these people they're trying to date. Liz has given him so many clues as to the fact that she doesn't want to rush, and she literally just said to him in the backyard she's not sure of where they stand, and then he still went in for this awkward kiss. You brought this on yourself, Ed. I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again.
I hope I didn't make you feel weird.
No.
No?
No.
No?
We're still gonna hang out.
So it's kind of a good ending. It's kind of left up in the air whether or not they're gonna keep talking. I believe there's more episodes still coming out. This is the most up-to-date info we have on this relationship so far as of filming this video. But I mean, I'm really glad that they brought her back in to have this conversation so things aren't incredibly tense and awkward. On the way out, he just gives her a good solid hug like he should have the first time. I would have absolutely just probably not made this video anymore and just curled up in a ball and died if you went in for a second kiss there. But thankfully Ed learned the first time, surprisingly. I know he never learns from the past. But yeah, I mean, the future is looking kind of grim for Ed here. See what I did there? And I'm not too sure this is gonna go anywhere, but again, I don't know how big these checks are that they're giving Liz, you know, from TLC. So maybe if they just tack on another 0, they can film another season or some more episodes. But without a doubt, when we hear more info and we see what goes on next, I will be filling you guys in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've made it to the end, you clearly have a weird obsession with Ed, much like I do. So maybe get some help and make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.